eu vou entrar aqui pra ver o que tem aqui pra mim, mano.
Brother.
This is an unfortunate video. As a Charles Oliveira fan, oh man, he's a retarded crybaby. I just gotta say it, man. Charles Oliveira, what the fuck are you doing? Charles Oliveira, for the past couple of months, I'm gonna show you guys. This is not just one interview, two interviews, multiple moments, multiple videos, multiple quotes from Charles throughout the past couple of months where he's just blatantly saying, I don't want to fight you, I don't want to fight you, I want a title shot. This is ridiculous. We can start with this, which took place, I want to say a month ago. This was a video he put out where he basically called for a title shot at UFC 317 International Fight Week. Let's just react to this. There's captions at the bottom because I don't speak Portuguese. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't either, but...
UFC, o MMA, tem muito cara que tá, ó, falando demais de história no UFC. Eu posso falar, eu vou fazer 15 anos. Recordista de bônus, finalização, cara que quebra recorde, sou eu. Então olha só, eu quero lutar na Fight Week, Makhachev também, Dana, Shelby, Hunter. Vamos fazer isso acontecer. Eu quero muito essa luta, eu tô em busca desse cinturão, eu quero se tornar campeão mais uma vez, entendeu? Então eu vou escrever essa história mais uma vez. UFC, vamos fazer isso acontecer. Essa é a luta que todo mundo quer ver. Eu tô pronto. O Makhachev tá falando demais que quer essa luta. Então com certeza vai ser uma grande guerra. Fight Week, essa é a luta que vocês querem. Essa é a luta que vocês vão ter. Dana, UFC, Sean, Hunter, vamos fazer acontecer. Só me liga. UFC.
Yeah, so he's begging for a title shot. Dana, Hunter, let's make it happen, brother. No, it ain't happening. You're like the least deserving guy. Hell, I don't think Gaethje deserves it, but he's more deserving than Charles. Like, this is ridiculous. You're coming off of a Michael Chandler win. Before that, you lost to Arman Tsarukyan, and before that, you're freaking, he beat Beneil Dariush, I think? Was it the Beneil Dariush fight before that? Ooh, Beneil Dariush, and then you lost to Arman, and then you beat Chandler. Whoa, bro. Whoa. There's no way. Like it's just ridiculous. You just can't be serious. You can't. And again, this was about a month ago, but I mean, you could see this quote here. This was, I actually think this might have been today or very recently. If it's for the belt, why not fight Topuria? I'm going for the title. I don't want to fight another fight and then wait for the title. That doesn't interest me. But you're going to wait for the title shot anyways, though, because you're not getting an immediate title shot. Like, of all the options to get a title shot, they would probably give it to freaking Gaethje, Ilya, before they ever consider Charles. Yeah, Charles is a big star, but we know how that rematch with Islam goes. Stylistically, you're not good enough to beat Islam Makhachev. I know it's a fight. I know maybe you could catch Makhachev or catch him in a sub or something. But when you take Michael Chandler to a 5-round war, it wasn't a war. It was a dominant performance. But when you take him to a 5-round decision, I should have said, and then Paddy Pimblett destroys Chandler the very next fight, and that was a horrible version of Chandler. I would argue that was a worse version of Chandler than the version Paddy fought, because that was a Chandler 2-year layoff, jumping right into the octagon against Charles Oliveira instantly. Before that, you take Arman Tsarukyan into a razor close fight. Yeah, credit to Charles. He's still at a high level to where he can take guys like Arman to those close fights, but you're not getting a title shot off of a loss and then a win. You need at least another win, maybe 2 more wins. What is this? What is this era of give me a title shot off of a win? No. I'm not saying he needs to be on a 5-fight winning streak, but one win against Michael Chandler, like, fight Paddy. In fact, if you want to talk about the Paddy fight, he talks about the fact he doesn't even want to fight Paddy Pimblett. Let's react to this quote. Again, this was pretty recent as well.
Então, eu tô em busca do título. Eu não corro de ninguém, nunca corri, não vai ser agora que eu vou correr. Eu tô pronto para lutar contra qualquer um desses caras, né? Respeito todos eles, mas vou imprimir meu ritmo, meu jogo. Por que não? Né? Se for pelo título, por que não lutar com o Topuria? Eu tô em busca do título, eu não quero fazer mais uma luta para poder esperar o título, não. Para mim isso não me interessa, eu quero lutar pelo título.
Te interessaria uma luta pro Pimblett se fosse
uma money fight ali para você ficar esperando o título? Ou...
Cara, eu nem penso nisso. Eu tô pensando em um título, então não tem como ficar pensando em os caras que estão abaixo de mim, né? É um moleque duro, é um moleque que tá vindo numa ascensão muito boa, mas eu acho que eu nem penso nisso.
Agora, e o Tsarukian? Se o UFC quiser fazer uma luta com ele, garantindo que quem vencer luta pelo título, também não te interessaria?
Também não penso nessa luta. Foi uma luta muito apertada entre eu e ele. Eu acho que eu ganhei 2 rounds, mas já passou, deram a vitória para ele. Eu acho que ele teve a oportunidade dele, infelizmente teve a lesão que teve, então já passou. Eu acho que, como eu te falei, a luta que tem que ser feita é a luta pelo título.
I can't believe how dumb this guy sounds. So, obviously, I just showed you the Topuria quote, but he mentions Topuria again. It's the same quote, which I didn't realize before. I'm not restarting this shit. But he mentions Topuria, but he also mentions Patty. And then he also mentions Armin. So, that's 3 guys he straight up and says no to. Just straight up, no, I don't want to fight him, I don't want to fight him, I don't want to fight him. But then he says, oh, I don't want to fight down. That's called that's the sport. Like, that's the whole point of the sport is you defend your ranking. At least I got to give Justin Gaethje credit because at least Justin Gaethje fought Fiziev twice, you know, and then he was supposed to fight Dan Hooker. So he was going to fight down multiple times. He has fought down multiple times. Dustin Poirier fought Benoit Saint-Denis. Would Charles Oliveira, from the sounds of it, ever fight a Benoit Saint-Denis? Hell no. He wouldn't even fight an Ilia Topuria. He wouldn't even rematch Armin Tsarukyan. He said it himself. It was a close fight. So if it was such a close fight, Charles, why wouldn't you just rematch him in a 5-round fight? This is why, when you guys say, why aren't we getting no fight announcements? It's because there's probably 10 different Charles Oliveira's, like fighters with Charles Oliveira's mindset who are like, no, I don't want to fight down. No, I think I should get a title shot. Oh, no, I think I should get number 2 ranked. Instead of like, yeah, I'll fight a contender. Again, this is the reason why some of these pay-per-views are so shit, because you have guys just sitting on their ass, not even willing to give these cards good fights. Because trust me, if the UFC could have what they wanted, they probably would have booked Charles versus Armin in a rematch, or maybe Charles versus who's like somebody lower in the rankings. He could have fought someone like a Dan Hooker maybe. They would have definitely booked these fights. But because you have Charles Oliveira who's just gridlocking his spot in the division. If I'm the UFC, I'm saying if you don't accept the fight, because you're not injured, he's clearly not injured. He's talking like he wants to fight at 317 for the title. If you're the UFC, you need to put your fucking foot down. What happened to the UFC being the big bad promotion? Because now this is becoming boxing. This is becoming fighters with too much power saying, no, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight this guy. He's below me. I'm worth more than that. I only want to fight for the title. No, hey, Charles, how about you lose your ranking spot? Like, the UFC needs to do something to incentivize these guys to fight again, because it's just crazy. I can't believe this is the same guy that went on that legendary lightweight title run, and he fought Beneil Dariush, who was on a winning streak and did deserve a name like Charles, but you beat Beneil Dariush. Then you were supposed to fight Islam in a rematch. You fumbled that, by the way. You fumbled that opportunity. He's talking about, Armin fumbled his title shot. So did you dumbass. You're the one that was hard sparring like 2 weeks before the pay-per-view and got a cut over your eyebrow. So you fumbled the Islam Makhachev rematch, and they said, all right, we're going to put you against Tsarukyan. They put him against Tsarukyan. You lose to Armin Tsarukyan. Yeah, it's a close fight, but you lost. You lost that fight. And then they're like, all right, we're going to give you Michael Chandler, a guy who, that's the easiest layup possible for Charles. A guy who hasn't fought in 2 years. You already knocked him out. You already beat him. Stylistically, it's very favorable. You take that guy to a 5-round decision. So at least if he would have finished Chandler, I could have been like, If he would have got like a sick knockout over Chandler or something, I would have been like, you know what? But no, you took him to a 5-round decision and you almost got finished in the 5th round. And now you're begging and kicking your feet for a title shot? No, I want a title shot. You stupid inbred bastard. How about you go fight Arman Sarukian? How about you fight Ilia Topuria and get flatlined by Ilia? How about you fight freaking whoever the fuck? Bro, fight Gaethje at least. Even though I don't think he even deserves Gaethje. I don't want to see that. But fight someone. You're not getting a title shot. I hope the UFC have made it clear to him. Unless they are going to give him a title shot and I'm just wrong. I highly doubt they're giving him a title shot. So what is going on? How are you just going to be going on all of these interviews, all of these media, whatever the fucks, sitting on your hands and knees and saying, I'm going to get a title shot. I want a title shot. I'm going to sit out until I get a title shot. It's ridiculous. Why don't you man up and just fight someone other than the champion because you're not getting a title shot? And let's get this sport and this division moving, bro. It's killing the sport, honestly. It's ridiculous. It's killing the sport. We never had this shit before. You know, yeah, we had fighters duck. John Jones has always been a duck. A lot of people don't. He ducked Chael Sonnen. You know, he's always been a duck. He's always been a coward, right? We've had ducks before. But now it's like everyone's ducking. Everyone is like just so picky with who they want to fight now. Makhachev talks about, if you can make 155, then I'm going to fight you. Anyone who can make 155, I'll step in the cage with them. Topuria makes 155. It's, oh no, actually I want to move up now. But that's a whole different discussion. But my point is Charles Oliveira, he's ducking. Who is he ducking? I don't even know. He's just, bro, everyone wants to see Charles versus Pimblett. That's the fight. And if not that, at least fight like a Justin Gaethje. At least give us something like that. Hell, even Poirier or Holloway or Arman or Dan Hooker. There's so many options for Charles. So many exciting fights. You could slap Charles Oliveira versus Pimblett on any pay-per-view and it'd be such a big deal. That could be a co-main event of, in my opinion, any pay-per-view. But we're going to miss out on that because Charles wants to sit around. Even though his last fight was in November, he barely took any damage. But he would rather sit around in his stupid favela in Brazil and kick and scream and beg for a stupid title shot. As if he deserves it with his dumb sloth-looking face. I hate this guy now. I'm sorry. And for people saying you're switching up on Charles, I don't switch up on fighters. I don't care if I like the fighter or not. I'm not one of these fans that, oh, he's my favorite fighter, so I'm not going to call him out. I call out every fighter. I did the same with Pereira. I've done it with Makhachev. So it's not, it's called not writing for just one fighter. I call out every fighter. If I'm going to be an MMA YouTuber, I have to call out every fighter because there's a lot of fucking fighters that talk a lot of dumb smack. And Charles is one of them right now. So that's about it, man. I'm so sick of this. What does this sport become? What does this sport become? You have guys. Make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. I'm just.
Então, eu tô em busca do título.
Fucking, this shit just scared the shit out of me, man. Look, he's coming for me. Charles is gonna come kill me now for this. Like, why? I really like Charles Oliveira, but I just don't get it. Fight somebody, man. What is this nonsense of like, no, I need a title shot? No, bro, he said no to Patty, Arman, and Ilia in the same fucking video. That's crazy. 3 great fights that I would love to see Charles face, and he said no to all 3 of them. That's insane, bro. And he's such a big star. The UFC shouldn't cut him, but they should at least do something. I don't know. Just freeze him out then. Freeze him out. Say, all right, you don't want to fight? We're not going to we're not going to offer you any fights. I don't know. I don't know how the UFC works, but hey, man, maybe Dana White is right. maybe I'm Team Dana. No, I don't know. But make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. Become a member. Become a member in the. Thank you guys. Peace.